What if the words you speak aren't just describing your reality, but are actually creating it? We're about to dive into this really powerful idea that certain words, phrases, and even sounds can be used like a kind of technology, a tool to literally engineer the life you want.
This right here, this is the core concept that everything else is built on. The idea that sound isn't just a label we stick on things, but it's a generative force. It makes things happen. And what's wild is that this isn't just one school of thought. You see this pop up everywhere, from ancient Vedic texts all the way to modern psychology. They all seem to land on this same central point.
Okay, that leads us to the big, obvious question, right? Is this for real? Can the words you choose, the things you repeat day in and day out, actually change your material circumstances? Can they really attract wealth or build up your confidence? Well, let's get into it.
Let's start by looking at all of this through a specific lens. Let's call it verbal technology. We're going way beyond just, thinking positive. We're looking at the actual mechanics of how words can be structured and used to create real, tangible change.
To really get how this works, we first have to pop the hood and look at the incredible machine that's running the show, your subconscious mind. You can think of it like the operating system on your computer. It just runs in the background 24/7, executing whatever programs it's been given, completely on autopilot. And inside that operating system, there's this incredible piece of hardware called the Reticular Activating System, or just RAS for short. Honestly, the best way to think of the RAS is as your brain's own personal search engine. When you tell it what you're interested in, by focusing on a specific goal or thought, the RAS starts sifting through billions of bits of information every second to show you exactly that. It's the reason why the moment you decide you want a red car, you suddenly start seeing red cars absolutely everywhere. The cars were always there. You just programmed your internal filter to spot them.
So here is the crucial part. How do we talk to this system? Your subconscious is super literal. And here's the thing, it only gets the present tense. So if you say, I will be wealthy, your subconscious hears, my current reality is not being wealthy, and it works to keep that reality in place. But when you say, I am wealthy, you create this interesting glitch in the system, a mental tension. Your brain sees the conflict between your statement and your bank account, and it hates that feeling. It feels this deep compulsion to fix the conflict by finding ways to make your statement true. Okay, so if the subconscious and the RAS are the hardware, then what's the software we install? Well, that's where affirmations come in. These aren't just happy thoughts. They're carefully written lines of code designed to systematically reprogram our deepest beliefs. And just look at how these affirmations are designed with surgical precision. They're not just generic fluffy phrases. An affirmation like, I am worthy, is built specifically to target those deep, nagging feelings of guilt or shame around money. Money flows to me easily is a direct counterattack on the belief that earning has to be a miserable struggle. Each one is a tool designed to find and dismantle a very specific limiting belief. All right, now we're going to level up. We're moving on to the next piece of this tech, switch words. And if affirmations are like full software programs, you can think of switch words as mental cheat codes. They're like single-click shortcuts for your brain.
The theory behind this is actually pretty simple. When you say a full affirmation like, I am a wealthy person, your conscious, critical mind can sometimes jump in and argue back, right? You get that little voice saying, no, you're not. Check your bills. But a single sort of neutral word, it doesn't have that baggage. The idea is that it just slips right past the debate and acts like a light switch, turning on a specific function in your subconscious.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The word count is believed to immediately trigger that subconscious association of handling money. The word find is a direct command to your RAS to start scanning your environment for new opportunities. And together is considered the master switch, a word meant to get your conscious goals and your subconscious programming on the same team, so you stop fighting yourself.
And get this, you can even string them together into these powerful little things called switch phrases. It's like writing a command sequence for your brain. So a popular one for wealth might be together, to unify your mind, divine, to tap into a higher flow, find, to spot opportunities, count, to bring in the money, and now, to make it happen immediately. It's a whole complex operation boiled down into 5 simple words. So everything we've talked about so far has been focused on reprogramming your mind, right? The psychology of it all. But what if this technology could also interact with the world outside of you? This is where ancient Vedic traditions come in. They saw the world not as solid matter, but as pure vibration. And in that worldview, mantras aren't just words. They're sonic tools you can use to tune your personal energy to the frequencies of the universe itself. So, if you've ever been to a yoga class or seen those strings of prayer beads, you've probably run into one very specific number. And in the Vedic tradition, that number is almost always 108. But why? What is the deal with 108?
Well, it turns out it is absolutely not a random number. It's like a cosmic echo found everywhere. Ancient astronomers calculated that the distance from the Earth to the Sun is roughly 108 times the Sun's diameter. The same ratio holds true for the Moon. The number is woven into astrological calculations and even into ancient maps of the human body's energy channels. So chanting something 108 times is seen as aligning your personal energy with the entire cosmic structure.
Now, at the very core of the mantra system are what are called bija mantras, or seed sounds. The simplest way to think of these is like vibrational building blocks of reality. And for attracting prosperity and abundance, the key seed sound is Shreem. The belief is that chanting it actually tunes your personal energy field to the literal frequency of wealth.
Okay, wow, so we have affirmations, switch words, and ancient mantras. It's a lot. How do you actually put any of this to work? Well, let's put it all together into a simple, practical daily routine that anyone can try.
This is often called the 3-6-9 method, and it's all about harnessing the power of repetition at key moments. So first thing in the morning, you write your affirmation 3 times to set your intention for the day. Around midday, you do it 6 times to re-anchor and amplify that intention. And then, and this is the most important part, right before you go to sleep, you write it 9 times. Remember how we said the subconscious just runs programs? This final step is like giving it a new program to install and run all night long, embedding that goal deep into your core operating system.
So, when you boil it all down, after looking at modern psychology, these mind command codes, and ancient sonic technology, what's the one golden thread that ties it all together? It's one simple, incredibly powerful thing: focus. Every single one of these techniques, in its own way, is just a tool for concentrating your attention. They're all lenses designed to take the scattered light of your mind and focus it into a powerful, coherent beam of intent.
And really, that leads us right to the heart of it all. Maybe the magic isn't actually in the specific word itself, whether it's English or Sanskrit or some single command code. Maybe the real power has always been inside the person speaking it and in the unwavering focus they bring to the table, which means the only real question left is where are you going to choose to place yours?